Chào Good evening and welcome to Election Night Ireland. I'll be your host this evening, Dean. I'm joined here with Blair as my co-host. We've got James Aitson on map duty. We've got Ashton handling interviews, and we're going to show you the results for this November election. As you can see, we're all here in the studio tonight. The exit poll results will be in very shortly. We've sent our people all across the country asking people who they voted for as they left polling stations, and we'll have the results for you all very shortly. Now, this has been quite a very interesting campaign. Notably, this is the first election in a united republic. All 32 counties of Ireland have been united under our great democratic republic, and we now have 25 seats in the Dáil up for election. There are 5 parties fighting to be the next government of Ireland. Coalitions may be inevitable, but maybe one party will clinch the majority they so desperately want. We will have the exit poll result very, very shortly, within the next few seconds, even to wait for those to actually come in first. A lot of people want us to give a solidarity shout out to the people of Sri Lanka, but we're not going to do that. We're focusing here on Ireland. And I have just been told, actually, we have the exit poll that has just come in. So we're going to have it on your screen now. Let's see who may be winning tonight. And we have the exit poll right there before us. It seems that it's predicting that we're going to have a hung Dáil. Labour pulling through there as the largest party with 10 seats. Fine Gael on 2, Fianna Fáil on 4, joint with Sinn Féin there, who's also on 4, and the Social Democrats sitting on 5 seats. That might come as a surprise to a few parties, I think. We do have party representatives in the studio tonight who will be giving their take on this exit poll and if they think their party will come out on top. But I'm going to first go to my co-host. Blair, what do you think about this?
See, we're going to be in for quite the night. Whether or not Tom Whitaker has secured this second mandate that he so desires, we'll see as the nights and the counts go ahead.
Definitely. We will go for a very quick interview. I think with the leader of Fianna Fáil, Diarmuid, who will be speaking to Ashton very shortly, if we can bring him up. We'll be getting his reaction to the exit poll result. His party has obviously been expected but to win big this election, although the exit poll seems to be telling a different story. So we'll pop over to Ashton very shortly, who will be giving an interview with him. Let's see if we can get that sorted now. Over to you, Ashton.
Yeah, this is bringing the guys to the channel. Just to let you know.
Are you good there, Ashton? He seems to be crying for help, it seems. Probably his microphone has just gone there. But we do have Diarmuid regardless. Yeah, this is the part where everything starts breaking down at our studio. We did just have some modifications to it, so perhaps there's some loose wiring on stage. Somebody please fix their microphones up very quickly. This probably will take a minute, so do bear with us. Ashton, are you fixed up there?
Bring him.
We're trying to do that now. Blair, are you able to bring him up?
No, I don't have admin in this server.
Oh,
Oh
wonderful.
my god.
There we go. Finally fixed.
There
Anyway,
we are.
take it away, Ashton.
Welcome. The Armored. So, straight off the bat, I want to know, okay, why? Why Fiona failed?
Apologise. Please repeat your question. If there was a question, my speaker wasn't working. I'm back. I'm all good now.
Ashton, are you with us? Earth to Ashton. All right, I think I'll do it for you since clearly his microphone keeps buggering up. Don't worry, Ashton. We'll just speak to you from across the studio over here. So, what's the feeling over in Phenafall HQ? Obviously, you're not physically there, but how's your party feeling about that exit poll? Don't you feel a little bit disappointed, perhaps?
Well, actually, if we are to look at the big picture here, I inherited the party around 3 months ago, when with 1 seat in Doyle. We took that to 2 seats, which was twice the amount in the last election that we had, and now we're predicted to win 4 seats, which is twice that. So honestly, I mean, I think we've run a good campaign, but 4 seats from I apologise for the background noise, but 4 seats from what we did have is quite a good feat in my opinion. I wouldn't be disappointed with 4 seats. I mean, I think that we can do better. I think we can push more out. Hopefully tonight we'll see that. But 4 seats isn't awful in my mind at all. No.
Okay, so I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, Diarmuid, but Fianna Fáil, they've never surpassed, I believe, 3 seats in their entire history in Ireland, or at least they've never really performed successfully electorally. There's never been a Fianna Fáil Taoiseach, there's never been a Fianna Fáil Taoiseach.
We've never had a Fianna Fáil Taoiseach before. I mean, hopefully I can change that.
Are you hopeful that you'll pull through a win? Because no, the exit poll seems to put you at a bit of a disadvantage here. Obviously, it's not the results, but
I'm not completely certain that Fianna Fáil is going to pull out of this election as the biggest party, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to leave it with more than we went into it with. If Fianna Fáil is to go into another government, we are certainly going to be asking for more than we did last time, especially if we're making seat gains. So hopefully Fianna Fáil will start to have a bigger influence on Ireland than we did before. Hopefully we'll start to get some of our policies that we went into this election with done. And we'll move that forward, and we'll hopefully change Ireland for the better. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the results that are being released tonight will bring. But yes, I do hope to bring forward some more Fianna Fáil policies, even though I'm not certain we're going to pull off a win tonight. I'm hopeful for more influence.
I have a question. This will be the final question we'll give to you, and then we'll let you off, and we'll leave you be. But I want to put a scenario to you real quick. Say the result is similar to what it was last time. Fianna Fáil don't do as successfully. Labour approach you for negotiations. If they don't give you the position of Taoiseach, which you didn't have in this government, would you walk out of negotiations?
Well, I went into this interview sort of imagining that I was going to be getting that question. In my opinion, a coalition is down to what the results happen. To what the results happen to be. Fianna Fáil and Labour do have strong relationships. We've had strong relations over the last 2 months, and we can continue to have those strong relations. And I'm not going to end those relations simply down to not being given a position. That is petty, and that is putting power before the people. So actually, what I more care about this election when it comes to coalition is policy. When choosing a coalition that we're going to be going into, whether we're going into a coalition at all, we are going to be looking at whether those other parties are willing to implement those policies that we've pushed forwards, and whether we're able to get some of those positions, yes, that will enable us to deliver those policies. But yeah, it's not all about the positions. It's more about the policy for us.
All right, follow-up question, and then I'll leave you alone. So You've said it's about policy, not positions, when you're going to approach these negotiations. Can you tell us what parties you'd favour then, or is it too early for you to say?
It is too early for me to say, Dean. However, this coalition with Labour has certainly been an absolute joy, and it's not something that I'm particularly eager to pull out of. So honestly, I mean, it's all on the table. I mean, not all of it. I'm not sure whether Sinn Féin really. Fianna Fáil is not going into a coalition with Sinn Féin again, especially not in their current state. But it's other than that, I suppose it's all really on the table. But Labour, I suppose, do look like the most likely option if there is going to be a coalition.
All right, thank you, Diarmuid. If you're available later, we'll come back to you, see your reaction to as the results come in. But take care.
Thank you very much, Dean.
Right, lovely. Right, back to us here at the front desk. We do apologise for earlier technical errors. Hopefully, we'll reconnect Ashton's microphone. For all we know, his foot was on the wiring. We do not know. But yes, we are going to pop over to James Aitken real quick, who is over at the map, because we want to quickly see, seeing as Ireland has now reunited, who is in a prime position to take the new seats, or the 4 seats now available in the north of Ireland. So over to James Aitken with the map. James, what can you tell us?
Hi, Dean. Cheers. Honestly, you look at Ulster, which has now been divided into 2. It was always deemed a Sinn Féin stronghold, so it's really now a question for the party whether it can maintain that and maintain its control over Ulster. It will be an interesting one to see. I think really the real question here is whether Labour can maintain, what it had got and secured the last election, and whether it can make gains, or are we looking at a different party making gains from Labour? I think that's the one really to watch out for.
So the exit poll is predicting that Labour's basically going to hold on. I don't believe we have the results of last election with us. Blair, our man with the numbers, will probably be able to interject with how many seats Labour currently have. Isn't it around
10?
10. Oh, okay, so they're going to hold 10.
It is exact. They will hold basically all seats.
Oh, fair enough. So Labour is expected to hold 10 seats that they're currently at. The Dáil has obviously been expanded, so that's not really going to do for them. Essentially, they're going to need a bit more than that, because there's now 25 seats in the Dáil, plus 1 being the presiding officer. So what seats do we think Labour's going to hold? Do you think that they're going to lose and gain any at all, James? What would the situation be on the Labour front, and who could they be conceding seats to, if at all?
I'll be honest with you. I think it'll be really interesting. I noticed, this an objective notice that I've made is that Fine Gael is really, shockingly, their campaign strategy has totally changed. It's just something I've noticed, so it'll be interesting to see if they can make gains. But in terms of where the Labour votes will go, I think Fianna Fáil would be one just to look out for. It'll be interesting to see if they can make any gains from Labour. I think it'll be a real task for Tom to try and maintain the 10. Judging by the exit poll, if it is correct, he has done it. But it will be an interesting one to see if he can pull it off. But yeah, I think, in terms of Sinn Féin, who, as we all know, a couple elections ago was really the one to beat, I think it's revolving door of leadership might have impacted it. So it'll be an interesting one to see what way it'll all work out,
Thank you very much, James, for your analysis. We'll come back to you later as the results come in. Take a drink of water or whatnot with your time. Just a little bit of talk here at the front desk. Blair, you have the results of last election in front of you, don't you? The current list. What were last election's results, just to cross compare with the exit poll?
See, to compare with the exit poll, the big loser this night is going to be Sinn Féin. I believe they're on 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 seats. During this term, they're down. I believe the exit poll said 4. I believe. So really, all the smaller parties have just been gaining off of Sinn Féin.
Definitely.
So it will be quite an interesting evening.
To see Labour sort of standing their ground, though, is a bit surprising. Usually, you'd think incumbent governments would be at a natural disadvantage, wouldn't you?
Yes.
hmm
Very much
And
so,
obviously, yeah, and the collapse of Sinn Féin, or rather the decrease of the number of seats, was expected. I don't know if we have the exact figure, but I think they've had 3 leaders throughout the election campaign, 7 leaders in the last 2 months or something like that. Someone will definitely correct us in just a minute. So the decrease in seats could be a direct consequence of that, or at least a lot of people probably argue that. But yes, we will have the results coming in very, very soon. The Electoral Commission are obviously processing the votes as we speak, and obviously verifying them, making sure that we're not going to have a massive hashtag Stop the Steal surge this time round. We do have one report suggesting that the Electoral Commission party has won all 25 seats, but that's just every single election, so not too much of a worry. I think all of Ireland can agree with that statement. But yes, we will bring on another interviewee, and I will give them time to quickly outfit them with a working microphone or to bring them on stage. That's totally not me hinting at anything. We will bring on a representative from Sinn Féin now. We're going to bring on Big Boy. There's a lot of jokes that could be made there, but I'm not going to stoop that low. Ashton, we'll do a quick microphone check just to make sure that everything's working on your end. It is. All right. We're going to go over now to Ashton to interview Big Boy about how he's feeling regarding the exit poll and Sinn Féin's chances.
Well, hello there, Big Boy.
Hey.
It's been a while. Yeah. Would you like some pasta before we begin?
Yeah.
Perfect. So first off the bat, you was a combatant during the New Year's Rising.
Yeah, I was.
What was your KDR?
I'd say about 17.8, you know? We were really fucking the Garda up. You know?
0.8? Damn.
Yeah. No, because we were really like that back in the day.
Yeah. So how does Sinn Féin, how do you guys plan on coming back this time, if that is possible? Do you think it's possible?
Honestly, I feel like new leadership, because I feel like our current leadership situation is so dog shit. It's not even funny, honestly. It's like this is, I'd argue this is worse than the situation we were in June 2021, May 2021, really.
Yeah, I agree with you there, to be fair. It seems to be,
Yeah. Like,
what is your opinion on the this exit poll?
this exit poll, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I haven't been super caught up with the election this time around, because I haven't really been that involved in Ireland recently. But, this exit poll, we could have hoped for better. We could have hoped for, to oust Labour easily, but we didn't. It's better than, but this exit poll is better than a complete collapse, in my opinion.
I mean, you have to remember this is just a poll, not the real thing.
Yeah, but still, it's a good insight.
Did we declare any seats yet or no?
No, we've not had any results come in yet at all.
Sorry.
We've not had any counts come in at all or any seats.
All right then, Big Boy. One last question. What is 32 take away 6?
Can you repeat that again?
What is 32 take away 6?
32 take away 6?
Take away 6, yeah.
Not good. Like,
I think I'll let Ashton rest his voice for a bit.
Thank you.
Probably take a sip of the water if you need to. Did we give our staff water? Probably not. But Big Boy, just a few other questions. Ashton tricked you. That was not the last question. So the exit polls showing that Sinn Féin's going to take quite a few losses. Sinn Féin's not exactly had the best election this time round. A lack of campaigning and playing musical chairs with their leaders as of late. Do you have any thoughts on it personally, as a Sinn Féin representative and as a member of the party?
I feel like partially the problem with Sinn Féin is everyone wants to lead a party, but no one wants to actually no one wants to actually lead one. Because anyone wants to be able to say that they won an election, but nobody wants to do the campaigning, and no one wants to really lead Sinn Féin through a shit show. They want to lead Sinn Féin when it's at its peak, but we're in a situation like this. Everyone will say they can lead us to greatness, but they give up in 3 days.
I mean, do you have any aspirations for Sinn Féin leadership personally? I mean, it seems like the job is becoming quite frequently open. I'd say you'd have a shot at it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but partially my issue is that the northern branch is pretty much non-existent at this point, and I'm not going to be able to have a good shot at taking leadership from the southern part, from the southern 26.
I should probably clarify to those watching that the exit poll on the screen, I believe, is slightly wrong. Sinn Féin are predicted to have 4 seats, same as Fianna Fáil, according to the exit poll. I believe on screen it was coming up wrong, but that's okay. I mean, depending on the actual result, it might not be far off. We don't know. We can't predict this early. We don't have any of the results. But final question, big boy. Just a final question I will give to you.
How big is boy?
Hold on, Ashton. The final question I will give to you tonight, before we sort of let you go. Will Sinn Féin go into government with another party? Are there any other parties that you think Sinn Féin are going to form a coalition government with?
I feel like Sinn Féin, I feel like they're open to a coalition. Because I've seen this obviously with our leadership, we're open to a coalition. We're not entirely sure who the coalition would be with because obviously we don't know the results yet. Yeah, we're open to a coalition.
All right. Thank you very much, big boy. I think we'll let you go now and let you handle party affairs or preparing to celebrate. You never know. But yes, do take care. Have a good rest of the day.
You too, man.
That was Big Boy representing Sinn Féin there. Very shortly, we will have the first round of results coming in. We'll have the first few counts coming in where we'll see which seats will go to what parties. Obviously, not all the results are going to come in at once. In certain constituencies, the counts could go on for ages, especially if it's a very tight race. We might see that in a few Sinn Féin constituencies where they're going to be very hard fought, at least taking into account the exit poll, since it seems Sinn Féin might be fighting a losing war against other parties taking their seats. But yes, we'll quickly go over to Blair, who is sitting only right next to me. Blair, do you have any personal predictions? Do you think the exit poll is correct, actually? Question for you.
Oh, I mean, I've seen the Labour campaigners. They've been out in the field quite a bit, even an hour before the polls closing. I was being DM'd by them. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom got that second mandate this evening.
Lovely. I think we'll have a few tweets coming in over the course of this broadcast. If you would like to get involved, and then do a lovely tweet with the hashtag IrelandDecidesRx. Feel free to give your thoughts on the election. We'll read a few out. We'll display a few on the screen. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say on that front. I'm not going to try and milk it. But just IrelandDecidesRx. That's the hashtag. Send in your thoughts. Send in your opinions. We might even ask a few of the representatives that come on later, if they are back, people's thoughts and opinions. We're a democratic country. We love debate. I believe we do have a result coming in now. Oh, yeah, the Electoral Commission Party have won all 25 seats. Hooray, guys. So end of broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of trolling going along on the lines this evening. How are we getting the results, by the way? Through Telegraph?
Through what was the name of the old BBC system they used, or like the old internet system, or was it CFAX? We're getting it through CFAX.
Oh,
or
yes,
whatever it's called.
yes, through CFAX, yes.
Yeah.
6259 colour.
We updated the RTE studio. We just didn't update our software. But yeah, we'll be getting our results through CFAX from the Electoral Commission very, very shortly. We do have, apparently, we are also being told conflicting reports here from polling stations. We've had one report that a pigeon has hit the plane carrying several results for constituencies, so several seats will not have results. We can confirm that's fake news. No planes ever crash over islands. The Irish Aviation Authority always make sure of that. We do, of course, have to repeat Met Erin's weather warning that there will be heavy winds and very, very terrible weather hitting Ireland this week. So, travel wisely. Don't try run headfirst into strong winds. You might injure yourself. But actually, back on to talking about this election. We'll go over to James again if he's available with us, if he's had his very large glass of water, to talk a bit more about the map of the entire island of Ireland. That's a tongue twister. Now, thanks to the British being not so great. So we'll go back over to James because I do have one question for him. James, where do you think we're going to be seeing a lot of the seat changes this election? Which regions will we see seats changing hands most in, if that's the right way of asking?
Yeah, hi Dean, thanks. Interesting question. I think really the real game changer will be the seats in the north and the way that the Ulster has been broken up into two constituencies. It'll be interesting to see what way that will impact the balance. Really, that would be where I would be interested to see how that would change and how that would develop. Outside of that, obviously, places such as Connacht, which is, kind of like a Fine Gael stronghold-ish, would be ones to keep an eye out for. Dublin's always, Dublin is just one of those, it's just a net. It kind of can go either way. It flips a lot. So it'll be interesting to see what way Dublin would go, both north and south. Obviously, it'd be important for Sinn Féin to, make gains if they're looking to try and save themselves a bit of face. That they make sure that they keep the seats in Ulster, that they don't lose any seats there, which is deemed their stronghold. See if they can pick up seats elsewhere. In terms of Labour, I think really it would be like your traditional working class areas. It would be the south of Ireland. So there you're talking like the bottom down there, so like Tipperary, Cork, Kerry, those kind of counties. Would be real. It would be interesting to see if Labour can maintain that and Leinster and stuff as well. It's always just one of those things you have to keep an eye on. I think really the real telltale sign, Tom, whether he can maintain his 10 seats, would be where the 10 seats kind of fall out. Will he be able to maintain the control in Dublin and Leinster and stuff, or will we be seeing it dwindle? And I think that'll be the first tell signs. Maybe the first 5-6 seats coming in will be the ones that will kind of tell you what way the wave's going to go.
We've seen obviously that with the unification of Ireland, a lot of the sort of Ulster areas tend to go Sinn Féin, as you've said. One of the major staples of the Labour campaign this election has been that they achieved Irish unity and that they are the champions of united Irish Republic. Do you think that's at all going to have sway in what were previously Sinn Féin strongholds in the north of Ireland?
I think that's definitely something, that I'd say the voters in Ulster would definitely have considered. I know, obviously, it's just one of those things. It depends on priorities. I know some people will have different priorities, depends on their persuasions. I do think it will definitely help them look more like statesmanship. So in the sense that they were governing and they achieved this for everyone, and it wasn't just for their voter base. It was something that they achieved for everyone. So I think, Tom really played on that during the election and the campaign, and I think I would like to think if it is something that people were interested in. I do, judging by the vibe that I got, people were very passionate and patriotic. I do think will really help them get those voters from Sinn Féin, the Patriots, the Irish Patriots. I would say it would have helped, bolster that and take them away from Sinn Féin. So I think it would be a bit of a hit for Sinn Féin in that sense.
We are getting some unconfirmed reports right now that obviously we've not had any results come in. That a lot of the counts are taking a while to obviously verify the results and whatnot, and a lot of time is being taken into just counting the votes in general and making sure everything is verified, whatnot. I guess the question I'm trying to ask here is, do you think that that's an indication that we're going to have a very tight election across Ireland?
Yeah, I think this one will be one to watch. I think it's really, it's. I would say, personally speaking, someone who's been here kind of nearly from day one and has seen the way the elections can kind of go. I would say this one will be quite tight. I don't see a party really winning outright. I do think that it will be a hung doyle, and I think the exit poll is pretty correct on that. It'll just be one of those things to watch, see who can make gains and what kind of leverage that can take, when it comes to coalition discussions. But I definitely think it's safe to say it will definitely be hung, and it will definitely be an interesting duel this time.
Thank you very much, James. We're going to let you take another sip of your giant glass of water over there, and we'll come back to the main desk. We'll talk to you in a bit, hopefully. Right, thank you very much. We are now going to take a look at some tweets that people have been sending in across Ireland. Many voters and the Irish electorate obviously have a very diverse range of opinions about this election, about party leaders, about parties themselves and their campaigns. So we're going to take a quick look at people's opinions and, let people have their say, as we call it. So we're going to quickly see what people have been saying. We're going to bring up the first tweets. Me and Blair will now be doing Blair and Dean reacts to people tweeting. Yep, this is what you paid to watch. So we do have a tweet here from I'm not going to try to pronounce that Twitter handle. It's our cameraman. He has said that he is stuck in the cameras today. I'm not feeding him. I can confirm that RTE does feed all their staff. We do feed them.
Party.
Yeah, exactly. And then we take about €20 out of their wage in order to finance it. So we do pay our employees. We do feed them. That's a misconception. That's not an opinion. That's a misconception. It's been fact checked. We'll see if there's been any other tweets coming in at all. After all, we display all kinds of news and opinions on it, even fake news like that last tweet. We got one from Badusi News here, famous Irish news outlet, definitely my favourite news outlet other than RTE. That they're going to be suspending RTE's license to stream if they don't. Dear. Someone call security. Do we have security? Yeah, we do. Okay, we're fine. We're okay. We should be safe.
It's from the game.
Oh, thank you very much. Right, security has disposed of that person. I guess I'm not going to be watching Badusi News anytime soon. We'll see one more tweet if we can. One more opinion here. If there even is another opinion at all that we can read at all. We are getting reports. Actually, I'll read that afterwards. Actually, should I read that? Yeah, I'll read it out now. We are getting reports though. Before we get to the results, because they haven't come in yet. Still, we're getting some reports that a stage is being set up in County Wexford by the Labour Party. It is expected that leader Tom Whitaker will be giving a speech there, regardless of the result. So we are to expect a statement from the Labour Party leader, probably as the results come in, or once the results are wrapped up. Depending on the result, it's either going to be a victory speech or a very somber speech. Who knows? Tom's a magician. He'll come up with a statement for either of them. But yes, we will. I believe we are getting the first lot of results that are about to come
Waiting
in
for
now.
them.
Blair, do you have the CFAX ready to receive the results?
Yes, we're preparing it. They're just in the back.
All right. Have you
Putting
made sure
them
to
into
plug
the
in?
system.
Yeah. Have you made sure to plug in all the correct wires?
I
Make
mean,
sure that.
CFAX ran off of analog television. That's no longer a thing that is supported by RTE, if you will.
What do you mean?
we're
We
u-
use CFAX still. We're still operating on it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't believe we've had any come in yet.
No.
That's sorry. That
No.
was an error on our CFAX screen there.
We'll keep waiting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if any do come in. But we are moments away now from receiving the first counts. For all we know, there could be a Donnybrooke studio about to deliver the results of the first counts happening across Ireland. Do sympathy for that poor volunteer who's probably very underpaid by the Electoral Commission trying to get these results to Donnybrooke.
Hey, people genuinely think that we're trying to dramatize this, if you will. This is genuinely no longer dramatization. We do not have the results from the Electoral Commission yet.
Yeah, we can confirm that we don't have them yet. We're probably going to have to double check our computers. Maybe they're just lagging intensely. I don't know. Is the internet gone on our computers?
You think they're connected to the internet? Okay, here we go. We've got the first count.
Take it away, Blair. What are the
All
results?
right, here we go. So this is our first count. West Ulster, we don't have a result yet. East Ulster, we don't have a result. Connacht, we don't have a result. In the Midlands, we do not have a result. In Shannon, there's no result. And in Munster, there's no result. However,
all right, so the counts have not arrived yet in those areas. We've not got a result yet.
Yes, so we'll have to go to second, third, maybe fourth count for those areas. However, North Leinster is going to be a Labour gain. South Leinster is going to be a Labour gain. Dublin North is a Labour gain. And Dublin South is a Labour gain.
All right. Well, there we have it. We have 4 Labour gains that have just come in there, which, I mean, that is quite mad. I'm not even going to lie. We will have those areas displayed on the screen now, but I will repeat them for those who did not catch that. We have 4 results that have just come in. In North Leinster, we have Labour taking that seat. In South Leinster, Labour have gained a seat. In Dublin North and in Dublin South, Labour have gained a seat on the first counts. That's a very good early start for the Labour Party. We're going to go over to James immediately now, just to see that on the map and visualise that. James, how are you feeling over there?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just vibing. You know yourself. As you can see, sorry, that sounds so culty. God. Anyways, as you can see, we've got a few dots on the map here. Dublin's always a telltale sign. I know, as everyone kind of says about Dublin, it kind of paints a picture for the wider country. So the fact that Labour is in the door there, getting 2 seats in the Dublin area. You've got North Leinster, you've got South Leinster as well. It is great for them. The whole eastern seaside, the seabourn there, is at the moment you're talking that it is Labour in the door. North Leinster completely went to Labour. So if I was Tom and I was looking at this, I'd be like, right, okay, you know what? I have 5 seats, and it's the first count in those areas. That's pretty decent. I'm sure he's quite happy with those gains. I think it's kind of maybe setting the tone for the rest of it. Maybe the exit poll is correct. Who knows? But it's just a wait and see whilst the second count comes in.
I believe the map's a bit wrong there. I think it's showing 5 seats on there. Just to clarify, Labour are on 4 seats. 1 in Dublin North, 1 in Dublin South, 1 in North Leinster, and 1 in South Leinster. I was going to say a triple whammy there, but that's a quadruple whammy, if anything. A very good early start for the Labour Party there in their hopes to be re-elected into government. I will go over to Blair now. Blair, you obviously saw those results. You were the first one to
Yes.
see it. How are you feeling?
I don't intend to be the bad news. However, yes, we are on, I believe, 5 or 6 seats. We just got a picture. See, the whole confusion is that we just got a picture of the map from the Electoral Commission. That's been transmitted to us. So we've been trying to figure out what seats go to what constituencies and whatnot. But yes, according to the map that we have gotten, Labour does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seats right now.
I do believe there's a bit of confusion with the results, at least on the communication channels where we do get the results sent to us here in the Donnybrooke television studio. But yeah, as it stands, we do have actually
Here
two
we go,
more that
second
have just
count.
come in here. I'll read them out. I believe this does correct the earlier
Yes.
discussions on our communication
Yes, it
channels.
does.
In the Midlands, we have just had Labour gain another seat, and to top that off as well, in North Leinster, Labour have gained their second seat in that region. So we can definitely update the map. I believe that James, our map man, is about to update that now in real time. Just that is, I mean, it's looking like a bit of a red wave right now in Eastern Ireland in general, doesn't it, James?
Yeah, 100%. The Eastern Seaboard is completely, it does look like it's going to be all red. So I'm sure Tom is very happy with that. When you sit and look at it, it'll be interesting to see where the 4 seats that are currently up for grabs in Dublin will go, whether it will be completely red or whether, places like Sinn Féin or Fine Gael can try and break in there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Tom can turn all those seats red. It'll be quite an achievement for him.
I mean, obviously, I think the Republicans in the United States probably wanted a result like this, but I guess they didn't do that. But yeah, it's looking very good for Labour right now. We've just had, we completely misread something there. And again, another error just keeps on coming up on the RTE. On the RTE setup, it's just annoying. Like, seriously, we need to start fixing these computer issues we keep having at the studio, don't we, Blair?
Well, I mean, that's what happens when we use infrastructure from 1972. Was that the first year of CFAX?
Yeah, it is just insane. But that was the sort of second lot of counts that had just come in there that we had just read out. Where Labour did just gain another 2, where they picked up 2 seats there in the Midlands and North Leinster. Obviously, the third lot of counts are probably going to come in for a lot of regions and for a lot of parts of Ireland. We're hopefully going to get that very shortly. In the meantime, we will quickly pick out 1 or 2 tweets. Because here at RTE, we're going to let you have your say. We want to see what people across Ireland are feeling about these results. It's also going to be good to see how people are reacting to this sort of red wave that is taking Eastern Ireland by storm right now. We do have Callaghan here. I believe this is, I think that's Seamus. I'm going to assume it's Seamus, who said that a Labour Social Democrat coalition is imminent. I wish we had a party representative from either of those parties. We can't confirm if that's anything that's happening in back channels at all. We do have another one here from Noah Finsby, former Northern Ireland First Minister, one of the big figures of Irish unification, who has just asked asked me or Tony, which is, would me or Tony ever consider entering the Irish political scene? I don't know, would we?
Probably not for me.
I'm of the opinion that if Ireland ever needed me, they can just send me an email. So send me an email if you need me.
Yeah,
That's
good
my
one.
that's my response really to that. Just send me an email if you need me, Island. Hopefully not. I think there's quite a few politicians who could already do what I would do then anyway. Sorry, something in my throat there. We will. I am being massively corrected right now that it's Seamus, not Sheamus. On behalf of RTE, I do apologise for that mispronunciation. It is Seamus, but we do have another tweet here from Dylan. Dylan, hello, who has said, proud to be supporting Tom. Thanks, Ian, for the coverage. No problem. But it does seem that Tom is going to be having quite an early celebration here. We are being told now from Labour headquarters that Tom Whittaker's motorcade has arrived in South Leinster for his seat count. He's only just arrived. Obviously, in his area has gone to the third count, I believe, although his party has picked up a seat in South Leinster. I believe it's actually, it's on the third count right now, I think. I'd have to double check. Yeah, it's on its third count right now.
Yeah, it is.
We will hopefully have the result for that momentarily, so we're about to see if Tom will pick up his seat. I'd say it's looking pretty good for him, doesn't it?
I believe so, actually. I mean, 6 seats already. All the other parties on 0. It'll be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is quite surprising. I am being corrected that Noah Finsby was also a former Taoiseach, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think anyone wants to talk about that tenure. I don't know why I'd even mention it. Why would he remind me of that? Now I have to make a joke about it. It's just, like I obligatory now have to do it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I believe we'll have the results very shortly. I think we are being told that there is a recount taking place in we haven't been given a location yet, but I think for one of the third counts coming in, there is a recount taking place. So I believe we'll have a delayed result for one of the constituencies shortly. We are just going to we're obviously waiting for these results to actually be shown to us before we can report them. We can't make up the results, sadly.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's coming in now, actually. I'll pass this one to you, Blair, when it does come out.
Yeah. We're waiting for it.
Yeah, we are just waiting for it. We might as well just add in a drum roll sound effect at this point. Because I feel like we have the time to look that up on YouTube and just play it. But yes, we will have that result shortly.
Could someone in the control pass to me the name of that constituency, please?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I believe I
here
think
we
a
are.
correction is a correction taking place. I can't.
Yes, a recount has taken place. There was the one seat in North Leinster that we declared earlier. It was declared for the Labour Party, giving them both seats in that constituency. Now that has been amended. North Leinster, one seat has been reallocated to the Social Democrats. Labour holds on to the other seat. So right now, in North Leinster, the Social Democrats are on 1, Labour is on 1. So right now, the official tally should be, and I'm also telling this for the people in the back.
Alright, there we go.
Labour on 5, Social Democrats on 1.
To pass the time, we'll quickly go back over to James. We obviously had a bit of a recount there, a bit of a shift. Got one little spot of purple now in North Leinster. That'll be all the results, of course, there being a 2-seat region. James, do you think this changes much?
I mean, to be honest, it's a little purple dot in a sea of red at the moment. It's like a wee purple island just stuck in the middle of the sea. But yeah, it doesn't really make massive changes. Obviously, it's great that for the Social Democrats that they've got their first seat secured. To my knowledge, from what I hear, there was a recount. People off at North Leinster just apparently, you know yourself how these things can be quite tight. I think it was just down to a handful of votes, and it just went the Social Democrat way the second time round. So I think really on that basis, we're just waiting to hear from the other counts to see if there's anything to come through. But I think we're coming up to new results hopefully soon.
Yeah, I don't have any follow-up questions. Blair, do you have any questions for him?
No, not at the current moment. We're waiting for the Electoral Commission to get going. Been at it for 57 minutes already.
Sorry,
This
I'm
will
just
be
quickly
going
sorting
all
something
night.
out. I'm below the desk.
Here we
I'm
go,
secretly
third
typing
count.
out. Oh, here we go.
Right. West Ulster has been a Sinn Féin gain. We don't have a declaration from East Ulster. From Connacht, it is a Fine Gael gain. In the Midlands, it is a Fianna Fáil gain. In Munster as well, we have a Fianna Fáil gain. We do not have declarations from the following constituencies: North Leinster, South Leinster, Dublin North, Dublin South, and Shannon. So right now, the tally that we are on: Labour on 5, Sinn Féin on 1, the Social Democrats on 1, and Fianna Fáil on 2.
I feel pedantic to say it's Fianna Fáil. Mostly because I always got corrected on that whenever I did this as well, so I feel like I have to do that to you. But we do have the results there. It seems that we've the Labour's massive gains earlier have slowed down. We've not had a single Labour declaration there. We have had Sinn Féin gain in West Ulster. We've seen Fine Gael gain and Fianna Fáil pick up 2 seats of their own. We're going to go over to James Akeson, who will have them hopefully displayed on a map, or at least I'm hoping he has amended the map to suit it. I believe he's doing that right now, so I will continue to introduce him for the next 2 seconds while he does that, and ask him the question actually while he does that. So James, we've had Labour's gains slow down there. We've had the other parties now picking up seats. I think every party, I believe, is now has now got a seat, so they are all going to be represented in the Dáil. Can you give us some analysis?
Yeah, 100%. So obviously, Fine Gael, I think, as we said, there, every party has a seat in the door, which is great. It's good for representation and all that rubbish. It's interesting to see where it's all kind of fallen in. Connacht, that was a big thing for Fine Gael, that they maintained a seat there, so at least they've got one in the door. Sinn Féin, hopefully, it's a big thing for them guys that they can keep Ulster, keep Ulster green. So they're one step closer to that. Fianna Fáil, fair play to them. They've got 2 seats. I think they're one to watch out for in terms of to keep an eye on. I would say that they would be one of Labour's strongest contenders. I think Tom would be looking at them to see how well Fianna Fáil do.
Very much so, yes. Let's see here. We're still waiting for the 4th count. How many counts do you believe there will be this evening, James?
To be honest with you, it could be any. Oh God, do you know the Irish people? They're so indecisive sometimes. Honestly, it could be anything. We could be talking 6, 7, maybe 8 counts. It's just the joys of things. Honestly, do you know what? I respect that democracy. We do love it, but Irish people are very indecisive.
Right. I'll get back to you in just a second. You have some map updating to do. We have now gotten our 4th count in. East Ulster is a Labour gain. Connacht is a Fine Gael gain. Shannon is a Labour gain, and Munster is a Labour gain. We do not have counts from the following constituencies: West Ulster, the Midlands, North Leinster, South Leinster, Dublin North, and Dublin South. So, right now for you, the tally is Labour on 8, Sinn Féin, I believe they are on 1, the Social Democrats on 1, Fianna Fáil on 2 and Fine Gael on 2. So there you are.
Right, lovely. So we've just had Labour make a few gains there, honestly. Labour have just picked up 3 seats there, right in that count that has just been done. This is the part my English starts to just disintegrate. On the 4th count, Labour have gained 3 seats, and Fine Gael have also made a gain of their own. We're going to go over to James now, just for the quick analysis, since we're going back and forth here as the results are coming in quite quickly now. James, what's the analysis? What's the situation over there?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not paid enough for the way these results are coming in. I'm trying to update the map as quick as I can here. Analysis, in terms of analysis, I think it's great. Fine Gael, they've kept Connacht. I think that's a real positive element for them. Whether they will gain any seats outside of that will be interesting to see. I think really for that party, you're looking at Dublin to see if they can try and break in there. Interesting to see that Labour has got into Ulster. I know in terms of Sinn Féin, that's maybe something that they maybe should be concerned about. Obviously, East Ulster is one of those constituencies. It's kind of a toss-up. It would be quite a mixed bag in there, but I'd say in the Sinn Féin camp they're kind of concerned about that. But on a whole, really, you're looking at Labour gains everywhere. I think it's safe to say, that Tom is quite happy with the way this is going. So it would really have to be I don't know, something massive to really change the projection of where this is going.
We've obviously seen that. Labour have just they're currently sitting on, I think, 8 seats now. If you add them together, correct me if I'm wrong, Blair. I think Sinn Féin stand on 1, I believe. At least I believe they made a gain in West Ulster earlier, so they're not exactly without a seat. Social Democrats are still on 1. Fianna Fáil are sitting on, I believe, 1 as well. I think we need our ticker updated from the Electoral Commission, and because I believe they got a seat earlier. Actually, no, they're actually on like multiple. They're on way more than that. They're on like 2.
Yes.
And obviously, Fine Gael, I think I've just picked up. I think their 2nd seats there. Hopefully, the results on the screen will be corrected, or will be correct as I'm saying that. So it seems like fortune is in Tom's favour tonight, Blair, isn't it? I think he's definitely having a good night. I think maybe those votes in the north of Ireland are benefiting him right now.
Yes. I very much believe so. I've got a question for James. So far, we've seen Labour sweep across the east of Ireland, if you will. Do you believe that sweep is going to continue along?
Yeah, if you look at the map, the eastern seaboard is very red. So it would be interesting to see, if that can kind of, move from east to west. It'll be an interesting to see. But I think, it's safe to say that I would be more than surprised if Labour don't make more gains on the eastern side. I do think that they will gain maybe another seat or 2, maybe.
Right.
But I definitely do think, I'd say Tom is quite happy with these results. I know if I was him, I'd be quite happy. It was quite a fierce campaign. It was probably one of the most active campaigns that I've seen in quite some time, which was great to see. But I think really when you're looking at the map here, the Social Democrats and Sinn Féin, if I was them, I'd be quite concerned. At this stage in the game, you'd kind of like to see a little bit more like dark green or a little bit more purple dots on the map. So yeah, if I was in their camp, I would be quite concerned at the moment.
Right.
Thank you very much, James. I have a question for you, Blair, actually.
Yes.
We've obviously seen that this election has been an election where Fianna Fáil have come in as a very popular heavyweight in the eyes of many voters. They've, under the leadership of Diarmuid, the party is come into this election aiming to be either government or opposition, really. That seems to be their aim, at least, being either first or second place. But it seems these results are probably not what the party was expecting.
No.
Obviously, we haven't got all the results yet, but Do you think they should start getting worried at this?
See, I would say that it might be time for them to get worried because there's such a tight result among the other four parties. It will be very hard for all of them to differentiate themselves, and especially when it comes down to the opposition side of things.
Hmm. I think, it's looking very promising for Labour regardless. I think Fianna Fáil, at least how it's looking, they're falling a bit short here. Obviously, for all we know, they might make a gain of 6 seats later. You never know. Because, if Labour were able to do it earlier, with the first lot of results, you never know. Fianna Fáil might come in with the surge at the end. It's happened in the UK. We both obviously know that. In Ireland, who knows? It could be possible. Anything is possible when it comes to elections in this nation. But yes, we'll have the next lot of results hopefully soon. We'll go back over to. We'll actually do a few tweets in the meantime, letting people have their say. We do have a picture there of what's happening in County Wexford. We do have the Labour stage being set up by Labour Party members in preparation for Tom Whittaker's speech later that he is expected to give. Once again, that could be a victory speech or that could be something else. We do have a tweet here, I believe, from Dankalinov. He doesn't think that Labour are that special, I believe, is the best way to read that tweet. We do have another tweet here from Bedouin News. I don't think we can see it fully there. Now we can. It's time for a Labour-red wall. Ireland has responded to the amazing Labour government of the past few months. Obviously, Jessie is the culture minister of the Labour Party. That's her reaction to it. We've got one from Dylan Hello again, that he will be switching to the Dáil this term to represent Shannon, to represent Limerick, Tip and Clare. Noble of him. Can't remember what party he's part of. That's just me. We have another tweet here from Connor, where that Labour is getting all the fame from unifying Ireland and leaving the Commonwealth, yet they would never have done that. They just got lucky with, I'm guessing, recent events and so forth. I will go over to you, Blair, actually. Obviously, Ireland cruised out the Commonwealth. They left the UK behind ever since the incident that happened regarding the overthrow of King George and sort of the collapse of the UK government, that I led. But the question I have for you is, do you think Ireland would have ever left the Commonwealth if that didn't happen? Do you think there would have ever been a day that Ireland would have left?
I'll be honest, I don't think so. I mean, we've seen, prior to the whole kerfuffle in the UK, we saw quite a large deal of cooperation between Ireland and the United Kingdom. I'm sorry, I have to pause for a second. We've just gotten the fourth count in. So I'll read that off of our CFAX here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we do have the fourth count.
Yes. West Ulster is declared as a Fianna Fáil gain. East Ulster, no declaration. No declaration from Connacht. From the Midlands, no declaration. North Leinster, no declaration. Nor from Shannon. But if we look at South Leinster, it is a Fine Gael gain. If we take a look at Dublin South, it is a Fine Gael gain, 2 Fine Gael gains on that. Dublin North, we are looking at a Social Democrat gain, and Munster, we are looking at a Sinn Féin gain. So right now, the tally right now is Labour on 8, Sinn Féin on 2, the Social Democrats on 2, Fine Gael on 3, and Fine Gael on 4.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Fourth count.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Blair. Obviously, we've gone over to James there. I think it is all on the map for everyone to see. Hopefully, we'll get a camera on that. And And while we do move the camera onto it, James, obviously Labour still have a lead there. Other parties, I guess, are scrambling to get those last seats there before they're all, I guess, eaten up by other parties. Can you give us a bit of analysis? Can you tell us how this could I don't know how you phrase it, but can we begin to sort of formulate what the rest of the results are going to look like at all?
Yeah, 100%. So, it kind of does still, it is still possible for a red wave. Like we talk about how big this wave will be. It might not be as big as the exit poll predicted. Obviously, there's still seats up for grabs here, but it is a kind of a scramble. I think we all kind of thought that the Eastern Seaboard would be all red, but as we can see, Fine Gael are sitting on 4. That's more than the exit poll predicted. So for a party that was dead for quite some time and has really struggled to try and make gains and try and gather support and stuff, I think for them, I'd say they're quite happy. I think really the real well done's belong to Fianna Fáil. I think they're doing excellently to make gains in where they have. So I'm sure that they're quite happy with that. I do think it'll be quite a colourful map, as I did say. It will be quite a hung Dáil, which will keep things interesting. But I do think we'll see a few gains from Fianna Fáil and maybe Fine Gael. But I think the rest, it's pretty safe to say that Labour might have this in the bag.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that Fianna Fáil still have a chance to get the rest of the seats. They're currently sitting on 3 seats. As I said earlier to Diarmid, they've never really exceeded 3 seats in their history. Again, they've never had a Taoiseach and they've never had a Taoiseach. They've never really sat in that position before. So do you think this will be the election where Fianna Fáil are going to sort of break the glass ceiling that's been holding them back?
I think, to be honest with you, I think the provinces and the constituencies that came out of Ulster is a real game changer for that party. Really, for them, they kind of need to eat up that Sinn Féin vote in the north. So they really need to get in there and get more seats in the north. Whether they can do that or not is really up to them and how the people have responded to their message. But to be honest with you, if they can get maybe 1 or 2 extra seats in the north, I think it's a safe bet that they will breach the 3. Whether they can do that or not is the question.
Mm-hmm. I believe we will have the sort of 5th round of counts coming in very soon. We obviously don't have that just yet, but we'll have that hopefully very shortly.
I believe. Hang on, Jane.
No, it's not done yet. It's not done yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll wait on a confirmation in regards to the results. Obviously, we are getting it through top secret communication channels that are guarded by 10,000 armed men who have been digitalized in order to protect it from cyber hackers. Yes, we will hopefully have that soon. Hopefully, we'll be able to not wrap up this election and declare a winner soon. But the way it's looking and the way I'm going to say it, I think it's fair to say that RTE is going to be projecting a Labour victory here, and that Labour will be the largest party. We are going to predict that there will be a hung Dáil, but it is looking like Labour Party have come out as the by a mile as the largest party in this election, and that is what RTE is projecting will be the result for this election. Now, that does not mean that they will form government. Ireland is built on a coalition government system, pretty much. There will usually be a coalition. For all we know, all the other parties might say to Tom Whittaker, no, 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 and all coalition against him. We can't know, we don't know. But it is looking as if Labour will be the largest party in this election. It doesn't seem possible for other parties to catch up at this moment in time.
Yes. And Dean, we've just gotten the 5th count. I've just been told to go ahead and announce it. One of the main reasons why we can make this declaration is with a 5th count. East Ulster is a Labour gain. Dublin North is a Labour gain. That means that Labour is, I believe, now on 10 seats, so they matched
Mhm.
their exit poll figure.
Obviously, some constituencies and some regions will be going to their sixth count. That means, but it's looking. I mean, it's a very good night for Labour. I think that's all we can say, really. I mean, as it's looking, if we do the quick math here, it is looking as if we're going to have. I think there's now 5 seats remaining. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blair. Just quickly correct me. Is there 5 seats remaining?
4
25
seats
total.
remaining. It looks like 4 seats remaining.
4. We have 4 seats remaining.
map,
It seems
at least.
we're going to go over. Oh, go on.
On the map, at least, it appears to be 4, but I will do some napkin maths in a second.
Alrighty then, we're going to go over to James while Blair does the number crunching. James, we're in sort of the final leg. Right, we're on the final leg of this election now. We're on the final leg of the results. It seems like Labour are still steaming ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm sure Tom and the Labour camp are absolutely buzzing with this. The fact that they've done, pretty decent, out of what, there's 6 seats in the north, and they've got 2 of them so far, and there's 2 still up for grabs. I'm sure Tom would like to try and get an extra one in there, and it's down Shannon as well, and you've got Dublin South. So it'll be interesting to see where those seats go. But to be honest with you, no matter if it goes outside of Labour, I'm sure Tom will be crying. He's done excellently, and he's far ahead from the rest of them. So I guess coalition talks will be quite interesting out of this. Interesting to see who teams up with who, but I think it's a sad day for Sinn Féin. They haven't done as well as some might have hoped, and as the exit poll would have hoped. That said, there's still a few seats up for grabs, but it'll be interesting to see.
I believe we do have results coming in now for the 6th counts for some constituencies. I'm going to pass over to Blair to announce those.
Right, so we have received the results of the 6th count. East Ulster is a Fianna Fáil gain. Thank you. And Shannon is a Social Democrat gain.
All right.
So, the tally right now. Labour on 10, Sinn Féin on 2, the Social Democrats on 3, Fianna Fáil on 4, Fine Gael on 4. So right now, Labour in the lead, as we've seen. Sinn Féin in last place.
Wow. All right. So Labour still got their lead there, of course. Other parties now beginning to encroach there. Social Democrats getting their 3rd seat and Fianna Fáil getting their 4th. I believe this, and we will get this verified by a historian, hopefully, and by an analyst, that this is the largest extent of Fianna Fáil in its history. Right here, especially again in East Ulster there, which again we were saying earlier, Labour could pick up a few seats in sort of the north of Ireland here. It doesn't seem to be too strongly the case, although I guess they do, but we'll have James talk to us about that. So James, tell us a bit about the result there.
Yeah, so the result, as you can see, it's good day for Fianna Fáil. They've done well. I'm sure they're quite happy with the fact they've got over their 3 seats. Social Democrats are getting a seat here and there, but it's nothing really to be overly proud of. The party has fallen from grace, sadly, and we're just looking at really just a clean-up operation at the moment. There's 2 seats left. It's kind of a swing to see where they'll go, whether Labour can pick up one or not. I'm not sure, but with the way we look at it is that there's no majority party, and there will definitely be a coalition no matter what way these 2 seats would go. It'll just be who will have the upper hand in those coalition talks.
I'm going to have to interrupt you, I'm afraid, James. We do have a confirmation from the Electoral Commission that their 7th count has just been finished in the final few seats. There will not be an 8th count. We do have that coming in very shortly, I think. Take it away, Blair.
Yes, thank you, Dean. So, first off, I'd like to note, Labour will be the largest party. They will not have a majority. If we take a look at the 7th count, East Ulster is a Sinn Féin gain. Dublin South is a Fianna Fáil gain. So, that is the final result from this evening. The Electoral Commission has certified the final tally for you, and I will read it out. Labour on 10, Sinn Féin on 3, the Social Democrats on 3, Fianna Fáil on 5, Fine Gael on 4. Fianna Fáil will be the official opposition.
I mean, we don't have a confirmation on that just yet. But yes, that is, of course, the results. You never know; coalitions can happen. But
second largest party.
It does seem that, just to give a few sort of facts about these results, Labour are, of course, the largest party there. They have 5 more seats than Fianna Fáil, who have come second in this election. No 2 other parties, other than outside of Labour, can form a coalition to get more seats than Labour. The largest sort of 2 parties combined here, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, they would only have 9 seats together, whereas Labour would have 10 here. So any coalition against Labour would have to have a third party here. There's a lot to unpack there, but we're going to go over to James to unpack it because he's the one with the map and he's the one who can give us a true analysis. So we're going to go over to you, James. We've got the full result now. We know what the next door is going to look like. What can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you one thing. If I was Tom, I'd be very, very happy with the results. I think the map on a whole is a lot more colourful than most people thought. Everyone kind of thought that Labour would completely sweep the floor. But it's interesting to see that some parties have made gains. So, like there's Fine Gael. I think the real victors out of the whole thing would be Fianna Fáil. I'm sure they're very, very happy with the results. I think it's one of their best. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's one of their best results yet. So it's quite a testament to their new leadership and their new approach to the whole thing. So obviously people are responding to that. I'm sure somehow during the magic moments of coalition talks behind the closed doors that it will be quite a lot of scrambling going on right now to see who can do what and whether it will be a 3-way coalition or will Labour be involved in them.
I mean, it's certainly an interesting result, I'll say that much. Blair, I believe you've got the official document that's just been printed out of our very prehistoric systems. Can you read out what the turnout is looking like? Turnout and sort of percentages.
Yes. So, to begin with the turnout. Turnout was 186 total votes, 172 of which were valid. 14 were declared invalid by the Electoral Commission. Of these valid votes, 172 of them, 21.5% went to Fianna Fáil, 13.9% went to Fine Gael, 40.6% went to the Labour Party, 11% went to Sinn Féin, only 11%, and 12.7% went to the Social Democrats.
Blimey. We do have it right there on the screens now. There is just a few other things. We can confirm here at RTE that this is the largest extent of Fianna Fáil in history. Their previous largest extent was, of course, 3 seats, as said earlier in the programme. But they are now sitting on 5 seats. If Labour do form a government, it is likely that Fianna Fáil, apologies, would be the official opposition in that scenario, unless, of course, they formed a coalition with Labour. That's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. But we do have that is the result. We are being told by the Electoral Commission that proceedings for the Sinn Féin leadership election will be taking place. For those who, of course, aren't aware, Sinn Féin's current leader, Jamie, who is manning our cameras, is interim leader after the resignation of, I believe, the previous interim leader, Ulysses Wallenfire. So proceedings for the Sinn Féin leadership election will be taking place in the near future. But yeah, quite a result. Labour have made no gains of their own. They have stayed on the same amount of seats there. Sinn Féin have taken massive losses this election. I believe Fine Gael, would have to check actually. They have gained, I believe, 3 seats there actually. Yeah, gained 3 seats. And the Social Democrats have not changed either, so very similar to Labour. That's the results as we know them now. We'll quickly get some final comments from people gathered here in our studio. I'll start with you, Blair. Any final comments?
Oh God, first off, there's fireworks behind you.
Oh, blimey.
But what a night indeed. It's been very volatile, very unpredictable. But alas, Tom Whitaker has that second mandate that he so desired.
I will have to tell Ashton to stop doing that. For the sake of the studio, we do not want to cause a fire. I think that was Ashton doing it. It might not have been. Actually, it was him.
I mean, our CFAC systems as well. Those have also caught on fire now.
Yeah, wonderful. We've burnt. We're gonna have to actually modernise them now. Yes. Wonderful. We're gonna go over to James for his final analysis and his thoughts. So, James, over to you. How do you feel about the results? What can you tell us?
Yeah, cheers. Love the fireworks in the studio. Real nice touch to the end of it. Yeah, so the map's a lot more colourful than I think a lot of people kind of imagined. I think Tom has a strong hand here. I think he will go into negotiations quite confident in himself. I think Fianna Fáil will definitely be quite happy with themselves. I think when you're sitting looking at it, whilst Labour might be the largest party, Fianna Fáil, I definitely would say I would call them the victors. Whilst they might not have become the largest party, they've definitely done well and they've exceeded how far they've done in past elections. So hats off to them. I'm sure they're quite happy with that. Fine Gael, they've got a few games there, so well done to them. Sinn Féin, I don't think there's any surprise that the party did so badly, considering its absolute mess that's currently internally going on there. So hopefully, they'll sort themselves out and they'll be able to represent the people that voted for them. But yeah, so we're just looking at a very colourful and interesting Dáil this time.
Oh, definitely. We are being told that Tom Whitaker is expected to give a speech very soon, apparently in the next 20 minutes. I don't know if we can actually wait that long, but he is expected to give a speech regardless. So we might do special coverage of that after this broadcast. We could take a break. That is an option that we're being given, but seriously, 20 minutes really? Honestly. Right. We probably will sort out some sort of special ad break. We don't have any adverts. How we meant? Oh, apparently we do. Well, that is the end of our election night coverage. We will be giving special coverage of course, Tom Whitaker's victory speech soon, but we don't. He's not ready yet, so we're buying time. I guess in the meantime, actually, you know what? We can talk about the results a bit, can't we? People are going to tune out, but we can talk about the results a little bit. Ashton, we'll actually ask Ashton a bit because Ashton has been very quiet because I was not going to let him continue interviews after that. Ashton, how do you feel about the results if you stop doing the fireworks?
Oh, that's not me doing the fireworks, that's you, look.
Who's doing the fireworks?
It's literally you.
I swear to God, if that's the cameraman doing that. Right, Ashton, give your thoughts at all?
I am so proud of Tom for having a consecutive term.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Although that's not confirmed yet, but yeah, well done, Tom. Congratulations. You're really showing you're really showing them who's boss.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Ashton. Well, that'll be the end of the election night portion of this broadcast. We will be going to a special program, the speech from the leader of the Labour Party, Tom Whitaker, who will be giving a, I guess, victory speech in his eyes in light of these results. We will now call an end to this essentially. Thank you to everyone who's made this broadcast possible. This has been RTE presenting for the Ireland election night general election coverage. We at RTE bid you good night, farewell, and hopefully we'll see you soon at the special coverage for Tom Whittaker's speech. Good night.
Well,